welcome back to my channel. It's Lee here again. Going to do another art journal page today, another mixed media, but it's mainly going to be paint, I think, this time. I've already given this a coat of gesso, so what I would like to do now is just to spread some of this paint around, and all I'm going to do is put it directly onto the page and smush it around a bit. A bit like it's a gel plate, and a little bit of this turquoise down the bottom. Okay, and I've just got a damp paintbrush and I'm going to blend this in. Let's get that right in. Beautiful colour this, I love it. Actually, where's my little roller? Here we go. Got this little braid here. We should just spread that with the brown. It's a bit darker than I wanted it to be, so I'm going to put some white gesso over the top. I'm not sure whether there'll be any collaging in this today, but I just want to play with my paints. I quite like to use gesso as my white. It just has a nice, I don't know what it is, a subdued look. Generally isn't shiny like acrylic paint either. Got a bit of green and stuck in that brush. Just giving it a good rinse out. But I'm going to get some more white gesso. Just going to paint it across the top. I've lost most of my yellow. But that's okay. I can always add some more in, but I'm just going to roll this down over the page. And I want it a bit lighter than that, so I'm going to add some more gesso. Roll that out. And then I think I'm going to have to add in some more of that yellow because I really want that to feature in this. So clearly I put too much of the blue on there. And you probably work that out yourselves. Okay. Roll some of this on. A bit too much yellow. Going from the frying pan into the fire. So I hope you're well and happy. Getting experimental with your art. Explorations. Now, just going to put a bit more of this white around. Right on cue we have a siren and a helicopter. It's an exciting place to live. But unfortunately, things usually indicate that somebody's in a bit of trouble. Well, there's trouble on the road, probably. Because people don't seem to know how to drive up here. There's a lot of paint there. You know what I could do with it? I could, I'm using this little book. It was a little planner that I never really got into. I'm just going to lift some of that out of there. I think I put enough paint on there to cover a 12-inch square jelly plate by the look of it. Okay. And the famous words I should say, is now I need to let that dry. Okay, so that's dry enough to work on, and you might recognise the stencil from the Junk Journal January days. So I used this one a couple of times, I think. And I'm just going to use this piece of book page as my palette. And I'm going to pop out some of these colours. So I'm going to put a little bit of each of the greens out. So I've got 3 shades of green. And I think a little of this dark yellow, which is this one. And got some transparent yellow oxide. So I want to put some of that out. Oh, it's a bit going a bit lumpy, so it's nearly off, this paint. And just a little bit of water in that. Okay, so I'm just going to use my little brush, stencil brush. Which is this little sorry looking thing here. And I'm going to start down with the leaves, and I'm going to put some greens on there. And I'm not worrying about the colour spreading evenly. I'm picking up more than one colour at a time too. And get a little bit of this yellow oxide moving around a bit. I think it's beyond being able to be used. Time to throw it away. Okay. And yeah, this isn't obviously the only way to do anything like this. This is just what I feel like doing today. And I'll probably use paintbrush a bit later on as well. No, my aim is to get a mixture of colours onto the leaves. I don't want them to be all the same colour. Let's have a look and see how that is. Not too bad actually. I'm liking that. Alright, so there's that. Well, I want that to dry so I can draw around it. And this, I'm just going to tear that off and squash that paper together, the book page. The birds having a good old time out there by the sound of that. Oh, that's interesting. Put that over there to dry. Right, I'm going to use a heat gun on that one to dry it off. Now I'm going to do some line work on here. I've got a couple of different markers. I'm not sure which one I'll use. Try this one first. So I've got black and I've got white. So if I start up the top, then I can't put my arm in it. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's some texture on this page that wasn't there before when I first started painting the background. What that was caused by was when the paint was partially dry, I decided to use the brayer on it, and it made that texture, which looks really good, but it's making it a little bit hard to draw on. Well, that's okay. We will survive, struggle through. So I thought I'd do outlines in this black to begin with, and then I've got other thicknesses of black markers, and I've also got white, so then I might put some other dots and things in there to liven it up. I just felt like doing something a little bit subtle. I like this pen because it's got two ends, like it's thick on one end and thin on the other. So you can get a nice, this is the thin end, and you can get a nice outline. If you want to do dots and stuff like that, you just use the other end of it. Another thing I really love to do is to double outline, but you know, like rough. So you've got like what I'm doing now, so it's not matching up. It's nice and organic looking, but you do whatever you like to do. You do you. Okay. And this one, I didn't do these very well. I can barely see this. The colours didn't work exactly the way that I wanted them to. I still love them, but this is something of a surprising result. And I used way too much paint, of course. Now, this stencil, in case you're wondering, it came from Cricut somewhere. So it's one that I've made, but from an image that was on Cricut. So if you've got a Cricut machine, you can probably find it in the software. How is that looking? It's quite nice, actually. Yeah. What else do I want to put on there? So these little spots, would they be better black? I'm going to colour in the small ones black. So leave a bit of the paint showing. I sort of like the colour of these ones, but I'm going to do them anyway. Okay, have a look. A little bit of glare coming from the window. Yeah, that's nice. I'm liking that. Now this one has got a brush on. No, it's just a brush, that's right. So I thought I'll use it to do the edge of my page. Okay, I think the only other thing I want to do on this is add a little bit of white back in. So I've got white jelly pen. This one's already open, and I've got white Posca. So what do I want to do? Whatever I do, I'm going to have to keep going with it, don't I? Because yeah, just put some white on here. And this one. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'm just going to put white up these stemmy things. And that's the only ones on there. Okay, let's go back to the black and see what it looks like with some black dots up these stems. So I'm just playing around. Not that keen on that, so I'm not going to do any more. But I think I'll add a little bit of white gesso back in a couple of places. Just need a couple of areas of light. I'm going to use a tiny little brush so I don't overdo it. I feel like it needs a pop of something really bright. On those flowers. So I'm just going to get something nice and bright. There we go, this will do. This is Indian yellow. I'm not going to colour in the entire flower. I just want to put some highlights in there. Some bright highlights. So I'm still just dry brushing so that I don't get too much paint on there. So I don't want to overwhelm everything with this bright yellow. So I think that's enough of that. And I think I'm just going to put some little white dots down here. And a couple in here. And I want 3 lots, so some more up here. And then do I want to do anything else? I do have a gold paint pen. Maybe some gold would look nice. So I'm only doing it randomly. I'm not going to do every leaf. And maybe some gold dots. I almost feel like that's done. I just, something I'm not happy with, which is the white line on this. I don't really like it. Oh, you silly bird, just flew into the window. Crash. Yeah, it's being chased by another bird. It's a magpie chasing the other bird. So that warbly noise, that's the magpie. And that screechy noise is a bird, a little black and white bird called a peewee. And that was the one that was making all the noise earlier on. And they're both territorial birds. So obviously they're having a bit of a Barney over territory. I think that'll do that. I like that. And I'm just going to put 24 on it. Not because it's the date or anything, but because that's the year. Let me know in the comments what you think of this one. I really like it. Nice and relaxed, and I really like it. I love the little hint of the gold and the yellow and the subtle greens. Alrighty, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video soon. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you love it, thumbs down if you hate it, leave a comment. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and you can share the video with your family and friends too. So thanks very much for watching. So happy creating. Cheers from Australia. Hooroo.